Why is this the fight of our lives? Why is medical freedom for everyone? Why should everyone be paying attention to this, whether you got the injection or not? Why should everyone be paying attention to medical freedom?
Everyone should definitely be paying attention. I feel like it's a slippery slope from here. If we fail at this and we allow people to tell us what goes into our body, there's no stopping us. And you have to know your history. In the 30s until the 70s, they were sterilizing women in Puerto Rico for their own good, for population control. And this isn't a conspiracy. You can look that up even on Wikipedia. So Tuskegee experiments, there's so many things that have happened, and this is a great nation, but bad things have happened, and you have to know your history, and you have to be able to make a choice for your own body. What's good for you might not be good for somebody else.
A lot of people say things like, oh, well, we've been getting vaccinations, but the difference between then and now, even people who feel some kind of way about those vaccinations, obviously we're living in a new time of information and unfolding and revealing of new information. But at least people were able to say, you know what, I don't want to take a vaccination, or I don't want to give it to my kids. And they weren't criminalized. They didn't have their jobs taken away from them. They weren't locked out of movie theaters and restaurants, causing all type of sabotage between friends and family members.
Realize that we gotta make a change. Yeah, we gotta make a change. Damn it, guys!
The sea of dirty and unclean people. Dirty and violent people. A sea of dirt.
My body, my choice. My body, my choice. Your body, your choice.
Your body, your choice.
This is all about values. America is in a place right now where we can argue about politics all day and right versus left, but it's really not about that. It's about values, and America has a serious values problem, and the value of freedom is lost. Just like Dennis Prager always says, freedom is something that has to be taught to people. And so why we are here today and tomorrow speaking is that we want to teach people that value of freedom and let them know that these types of things are worth fighting for, and that once you give this up and say, hey, you can check my papers for a vaccine to get a cup of coffee, what comes next?
My body, my choice. The vaccine you won't force. My body, my choice. The vaccine you won't force.
I believe freedom is our God-given state. I believe freedom is what makes life such a precious gift. So mandates are taking away that precious gift. So I don't think any of us want to explain to our grandchildren what freedom was. I'd rather explain to my grandchildren what mandates were.
You're a comic, your stuff is genius. Why is it important to laugh right now?
That's a good question. So why I think it's important to laugh right now, laughter and fear can't occupy the same space at the same time. And I think the only problem we have in this world is people's minds being controlled by fear. So even if it's just for a millisecond or a minute, having fear displaced by the levity of laughter, I think it helps free people's minds, even if it's 1 millimeter at a time. But I do think that's one of the reasons. I also think it's important to not take things too seriously. I think seriousness, the constriction of it, that's what can get us to buy into narratives that don't serve us.
What are your thoughts, Kevin? What are your thoughts so far? Can you formulate into words what is happening?
Nope. It's beyond words. This is
beyond words.
History. That's the only word.
We cannot have totalitarian rule. That's ridiculous. We've come too far, and we shouldn't be going backwards. We should go forwards. I can say what I feel, and what I feel is if I don't speak up, I have blood on my hands. If we don't speak up, we have blood on our hands, and we have to fight for the truth, and we have to fight for what is right. Otherwise, I don't know how I would live with myself, and I don't know how other people live with themselves.
Right.
Thank you very much.